today we are going to be doing a $50 a week eating healthy challenge. So join me on this miraculous adventure. We have $50 and we're going to be using that money to spend on groceries for 1 week. But there's one little stipulation here, is that we are going to be eating healthy. That means that we are going to be eating fruits, vegetables, meats, and whole grains, and healthy fats, of course. Now, I've watched a lot of these YouTubers who are going on these grocery hauls, and they come back with buying a bunch of food for, some obscurely small amount of money. I quickly realize that a lot of what some of these people are getting is really kind of junky stuff. Things that are high in sugar, high in sodium, very processed food, pizzas, muffin mixes, bars and granola bars and things like that. What our goal is for this week, and honestly, I think what everyone's goal really should be, is to eat as close to nature as you can. For example, if you are deciding to have either peanuts or peanut butter, you should choose peanuts, because peanuts are closer to their natural state. No, there's nothing wrong with peanut butter, okay? Peanut butter is fine. It's just an example of trying to eat as close to nature as possible. Anything that is processed, we are going to try our best to eliminate, for the most part, almost entirely. If it is light years away from what nature would give you, Stouffer's doesn't come on Stouffer trees. And I totally understand that this kind of a eating closer to nature diet might be a big adjustment to some people. But I guarantee you that if you use that rule, it's a very simple rule, you will absolutely feel way better. If your body is used to eating a lot of these processed fast foods, come in a box, mix, add water kind of stuff, you're going to feel a lot better, because there's not all the chemicals and preservatives and high salt and high sugar that's in those things. You won't have them in your body. Eat as close to nature as you possibly can. If you apply that rule to most of the meals that you have, you're going to do really great. Your body is going to love you for it. And I'm going to love you too. I almost forgot one thing. So with this $50 a week healthy eating plan, I'm going to assume that you have bare essential pantry items. So things like cooking oil, seasoning, and some condiments. All right. So I'm going to make that assumption that, you're, it's not like you just moved into a kitchen and you have nothing. I'm assuming that you have some basic kind of everyday kitchen staples. I'm going to go drive to the store now. I am back from my local, less expensive grocery store that happens to be employee owned. And those who know, winky, winky. All right, so I have in this corner, we have some eggs, 12 eggs. They're excellent, yummy eggs. We've got a variety of beans. We have garbanzo beans, black beans, and pinto beans. I got 2 of each. We have a pint of fresh blueberries. In this corner, we have old-fashioned oats. We have a bag of oranges, which I took out of the bag, a mess of onions, yellow onions, a bag of potatoes, 3 sweet potatoes, whole wheat, whole flour, chi-chis, tortillas. We have in this corner some delicious whole milk plain yogurt, cottage cheese, 2 lemons, 2 green bell peppers, some wild rice, brown wild rice. We have like mega amounts of cherry tomatoes. This is like 1.5 pound each of cherry tomatoes. And we have 2 packages, 5-ounce packages of greens. So we have a spinach variety, and we have a like spring mix. In this little corner, we have ground turkey and ground beef. Both are a pound each. And what you don't see in this video, which is actually in my freezer downstairs, is 2 12-ounce packages of frozen mixed berries like blueberries, raspberries, blackberries. I forgot something very important. Cheese. All right, so for full transparency, this is the dollar amount, 60.65 total minus $1.04 for tax, and technically comes to under $60, but I think I did pretty well here. Considering everything, I think that $60 is pretty darn good for everything I got. Okay, so here we have meal number 1, which is going to be for breakfast. And this is a 3-hour oats. And this does not require any stovetop cooking at all. All it requires is a 1/2 cup of old-fashioned oats in a 1/2 cup of water. I threw in 1/4 cup of plain yogurt that we had. And I'm also going to toss in about 1/4 cup of blueberries as well. And what I'm going to do is just mix this all up. I'm going to put it into the refrigerator, let it sit for 3 hours. You can leave this overnight in your refrigerator if you want to, and it will be ready for you in the morning, bright and early, if you like. So I am sitting down to eat my 3-hour oatmeal, and I put just a little bit more blueberries on top. And if you got honey or maple syrup, you can also add that a little bit, a tablespoon or something like that on top of your oatmeal. And this is way better than some of the packaged crapola. You can also do different variations of 3-hour oats. You can make it into like a, you know, mocha thing with chocolate chips in moderation and peanut butter. You can do bananas in there with, squashed up bananas with some cinnamon. Instead of yogurt, you could add chia seeds as well. This is a good one to experiment with. And if you have, leftover fruit or even dried fruit, you could always add that as well. Meal number 2 is going to be turkey meatballs on top of a salad with sweet potato. And I'm starting to make my turkey meatballs right now. And this is a very simple recipe. And what you do is you put in 1/4 cup of your oats, 1/4 cup of water, 1/2 of an onion chopped. I have some Italian seasoning, which is not actually seasoned with salt or MSG. It's just oregano, basil, and thyme. And I put in 1/4 teaspoon of that. Now, I also had a couple of cloves of garlic laying around the house, and I do want to use them. This is not necessary, but if you want additional flavor and you've got a spare garlic clove hanging around, just add it in there. I've also got salt and pepper and a tablespoon of olive oil, or you could also use avocado oil too. I added 1 pound of ground turkey and I just mixed it up what we're going to do is we're going to form these into little balls or big balls, whatever your preference of balls is. I don't judge. And we're going to put them on a lined baking sheet. So I put them on a tinfoil lined baking sheet, and they're going to go into the oven on 400 degrees for about 10 minutes. So you might have noticed that I didn't buy any salad dressing or any dressing at all, and that's because that I like to make my own, and it's a economical way of saving some bucks at the grocery store. So to go over the salad that I'm going to be making with the turkey meatballs, I just whipped together a little citrus vinaigrette. What you do is you take the juice of half of an orange, the juice of half of a lemon, some salt, some pepper, a tablespoon of honey if you have it. Okay, if you don't have honey, just go out and get some. It's really not a huge deal. And fourth of a cup of olive oil, and you mix that all together. And that is your easy citrus vinaigrette. Our turkey meatballs are done, and they're looking pretty good. So I've got 9 balls here, and I'm going to have 3 per meal. Does that sound reasonable? I think so. And so this is going to be 1 meal, 2 meal, 3 meal. And I've got ground beef, and I'm going to probably do the same kind of scenario with the ground beef to have it on top of a salad, or make it into a wrap, which I'll show you as well if that comes to pass. I'm trying to do this like IRL, like whatever kind of I feel like I'm going to just go ahead and do. So these are ready, and I'm going to have 3 tonight. And the other 6 I'm going to go ahead and put into a freezer safe container, and put them in the freezer so I could use them for the next couple days or so. I've got the salad here with my 3 turkey meatballs with some cheddar cheese, some of those great grape tomatoes, and I've got my sweet potato piping hot from the oven. I'm going to let that cool a little bit. And then on top we have our simple citrus dressing, which I'm going to pour right around here. And it's going to be mucho good. Picture of health, you guys. We have our carbohydrate in the form of the sweet potato. We have our meat, lean meat, in the form of the meatballs. We have our cheese for the dairy calcium thing. And then we have spinach, very high in fiber and iron, and our tomatoes, which are like a vegetable fruit and having some kind of crazy identity crisis. But and there we have it. Enjoy. Molto bene.